Hey guys, how's it going? It's the Crypto Analyst here, and I hope all of you guys are having a good morning, evening, wherever you guys are from, and welcome back to another Bitcoin technical analysis. And the price action of Bitcoin is getting ready to explode. Now, this is due to a couple of factors like the support and resistance lines closing in on one another and creating a squeeze on the price action of Bitcoin inside of a couple of different formations. Now, in addition to this, we also have the EMA squeezing and getting extremely tight in here, and then you have the volume falling off, signifying that a decent sized move could be coming our way very, very soon. So today what I'm going to be doing is breaking all this down, explaining why I think that this is going to happen a little bit more in depth, and then talk about where I believe Bitcoin is going to go, because a lot of people are kind of curious because this is such a neutral zone in so many different areas. So is this bullish divergence? Is this bearish divergence? I'm going to be giving my thoughts and my insight as to where I believe Bitcoin is going from here. So if you guys are interested, go and stick around for the video, and do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button, as it does help out the channel a lot. But that being said, let's go ahead and dive on into this. So first things first, guys, one of the things that I was actually notified right before I was making this video is that someone was texting me and said, hey, I don't know if you saw this climbing level of support on Bitcoin, but it definitely has been, pretty relevant as of lately, and I completely agree with them. We have this drawn up over here. Again, numerous touch points all the way up. We do have a little bit of a gap in here from what looks to be a descending triangle, but this is still kind of being used. Now, let's talk about the most recent price action on Bitcoin and kind of why this means that a larger move is coming its way, in my opinion. So what we can see, guys, over here, whether you want to call this a pennant or a descending triangle or a falling channel, this can really be viewed as a lot of different things. But for the sake of, I guess, priority, we're going to be looking at this as a kind of symmetrical triangle or pennant as of right now, which can also be classified as another form of a bull flag, because of the fact that this is the immediate support line right below here. And again, then it goes to the descending triangle, and then it goes to the falling channel. So what you have here is a bullish formation, a bearish formation, and then another bullish formation. So why is this ascending triangle leading to a squeeze in the price action of Bitcoin? Well, we can see pretty clearly over here that this resistance line is falling and that the support line is climbing, and so prices are kind of ricocheting in between these zones, and thus the price is squeezing. Now, we can also see this pretty evidently on the 4-hour chart with the volume falling off, and if we actually go over to a daily chart, I believe we can see it even better. Yeah, much, much better. So zooming in over here, I mean, it's very evident that this volume is falling off over here along with the squeeze. So what does this mean? Well, in my opinion, this actually means that a large move is coming, whether it wants to break out or break down out of this zone. So either to the upside or to the downside, I do think a fairly large move is really on its way from here. Now let's go ahead and switch this back to the 4-hour and explain a little bit more why. So when price is getting concentrated and getting, I guess, pushed in such a tight zone over here, you can kind of think of it as essentially pressure building within the formation itself. And so that's why we have breakouts and breakdowns, is because essentially what's happening is the pressure is getting withheld within the zone, so that whenever it breaks one way, it typically, unless it's a trap of some sort, like a bear trap or a bull trap, typically it explodes in that one direction, whether that's to the up or the downside, because of the fact that it's been getting squeezed in here. So when you have the volume being squeezed, the volume being squeezed, the EMAs again almost on top of each other at this point, and then in addition to that, you also have the price action being squeezed, which we can see happening over in here, and it's going to be getting very squeezed very fast over the course of the next week or so if it doesn't, break out or break down. So that's really why I believe it's going to happen. But let's talk more about where I believe it's going to go from here. So as I mentioned, guys, there are 2 bullish formations and 1 bearish formation inside of this. Again, giant bull flag, really 2 giant bull flags, one in the form of a falling channel and one in the form of a symmetrical triangle. The reason why is because we have the bull pull upwards, and then the bull flag going downwards here, and of course the symmetrical triangle following the pull, and that is why it's leading to a double bull pull bull flag scenario. Sorry, I didn't explain that very well. Basically, the whole reason why the symmetrical triangle is a bull flag is because of the bull pull, and a symmetrical triangle always follows the pull, or almost always. And then the falling channel with a rising level before it essentially leads into a bull flag scenario for that as well. So how do these, I guess the question is, how do these really counteract into a descending triangle? Because you guys know I absolutely love descending and ascending triangles. So with this actually being a descending triangle, do I want to short this zone? Because I think it's very clear that 1, 2, 3, 4 points of rejection. I actually just added this circle today. 4 different points of rejection on overbearing resistance. Not only that, but it broke down, it failed the golden cross, broke down below, and got rejection from the EMAs following this point. So what do I think about Bitcoin doing this? Well, I certainly don't think that this is ideally bullish. However, support is so close below it, it doesn't necessarily matter. Maybe it does fall like a couple $100s here, like $300 or something, but that's not anything significant because it does have support right in here. Now, that's not to say that it can't break support, but it's in such a neutral zone. I mean, we're literally, if we were to draw the center of this guy out, it's literally sitting in the middle of this symmetrical triangle. So whatever way you want to argue, in my opinion, this isn't an ideal trade opportunity at this level, just because you can't have a good area of risk versus reward ratio because of the fact that you'd be entering into the middle of this and kind of hoping it goes your way from there. Now, I say why this is so neutral. I mean, look at the MACD and the RSI. It is looking actually more bullish on this, on the 4-hour MACD. I actually want to look at this from the 1-day real fast. And we can actually see the squeeze on the MACD on the 1-day chart as well. And ideally, actually, this is something that I brought up already. But ideally, this is going to play out into a form of like triple bullish divergence on the MACD. I kind of have it drawn up in theory here of how it could play out. But this is actually a potentially very bullish case scenario for Bitcoin here. But the MACD, or excuse me, the RSI on the 1-day chart, again, extremely neutral, almost as neutral as you can possibly be. And moving back into the 4-hour chart, it's very much the same situation. It's not quite, I would say it's a little bit more less neutral on the 4-hour chart, but again, still not anywhere I really want to be trading in here, right? Because if it's anywhere around this equilibrium price, it's just not, I don't know what the word is. It's not my ideal kind of trade zones, because I think that the trades thus become a little bit more risky when they are in more neutral areas, because there's just a better chance that it can go either way, is what I'm trying to say. So when I'm looking at this, I think the overall sentiment here is that, this kind of is a coin toss of sorts. And I hate using that term. I hate getting on here, doing technical analysis, and then saying, well, that's the TA, and now it can go either way, because I feel like that's just bad TA. But at this point, I'm saying it's a coin toss because there is quite literally an amazing argument for both of the sides here, and thus why I would not be, and I am not, trading this area. So let me go ahead and explain. Again, we talked about that bullish divergence on the MACD. We talked about this double bull flag situation, but you can't ignore the fact that it was a death cross, a failed golden cross, rejection from that, rejection for the 4th time from overbearing resistance, and then rejection from the EMAs in addition to that. So again, that's why it's such a hard place right here, and I know a lot of you guys are a little bit confused about this area as well. It's barely holding on to the 10K range. It's actually about $100 above it, nearly $100 above it right now. And time is going to tell, but I certainly do think that, if anything, a large move is coming to Bitcoin in the future. I am not playing it, I'm not longing it, I'm not shorting it. I am doing other sorts of trading in between, but I am not doing any kind of leverage position in here because, again, this can simply just go either way so easily. So hopefully this was able to help you guys out. Hopefully you guys were able to learn something from this in an educational way. If you guys did enjoy the video, do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button, as it does help out the channel a lot. If you guys really enjoyed, be sure to share it with a friend, and I hope to see you guys very soon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.